Costuming is more than fabric. It's about identity, storytelling, history, truth, and empowerment.
That is the philosophy of Harold Crawford, a Cleveland native who has carved out his place in history as one of Hollywood's first black wardrobe stylists.
3 News contributor Chris Webb has more on his story and how he's inspiring the next generation of costumers and creators.
At 19 years old, you're prepared, a young man of color, standing at the gate of 20th Century Fox and them looking at me. What are you doing here?
Harold Crawford is a living legend. With a 50-year career of over 100 movie and TV show credits, Mr. Crawford is one of the first black costumers in Hollywood.
We weren't really accepted back then because it was a whole nother, that wasn't a club that we were invited to be a part of. But here I was. I learned about fashion. I learned about retail. I was introduced to a whole nother world.
After a fortuitous introduction into the world of costuming, Harold was forced to learn skills at a rapid pace.
My first assignment was 20th Century Fox. I was being paid to learn how to be a costumer by the major studios.
And in the 60s and 70s, that training just so happened to take place on projects that are now iconic, like Hello Dolly, Benson, and even the original Hulk series.
But you know, when they're doing the flexing and the muscle and it's tearing and it's ripping, we call that scoring.
And as the decades continued, so did Mr. Crawford's expertise and resume. From costuming on Men of Honor, Living Single, Swordfish, and countless other projects. And it was then, after marrying his wife Constance, that Harold's Cleveland journey began.
I was working on a movie, and she was back here in Cleveland visiting her son and grandkids. And when she got back, I came out and I said, "You want to move to Cleveland?"
The time we moved here, Harold was on the project of Everybody Hates Chris.
And she looked at me, she said, what about work? I said, I can work anywhere.
And after continuing Hollywood work, expanding to Ohio's industry, and even receiving a star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars, Harold is now launching the Harold Crawford Legacy Foundation with an inaugural launch event this Saturday.
We want to take his work and use it as a tool to educate, inspire, and talk about work that's important to our community.
First off, they didn't know that we existed as costumers. Somebody had to go through something and kick some doors open and do something. I consider it an absolute privilege and an honor to be a part and be history.
What Harold knows, it will never age.
How
Fabulous.
fascinating.
My gosh, what an amazing guy.
And as you were sitting down, you said that you actually met him.
Oh yes, yeah. I was a young man. Actually, I celebrated my 18th birthday being costumed in a play that he was very influential in. It was called Hip Hop Aesop at the Caramoo Theater, and it was a reimagining of Aesop's fables, Tortoise and the Hare, Boy Who Cried Wolf, and he costumed me, and I actually had a surprise 18th birthday in his clothes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And you had no idea that he was this Hollywood, legend practically, with all these shows that he's done.
There were whispers in the halls that that's Harold Crawford, and I just knew that, there was something amazing, but really breaking down into his history and even hearing things about the foundation and what they intend to do, it's magnificent, just the impact that he has and that he will continue to have for years to come.
Yeah, you were running off to some of the productions he's been involved in over the years. You talked about hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Other things as well.
Yeah, Living Single, Men of Honor, the movie, Swordfish, the movie about the Hindenburg, so many different things that he's been a part of that, I grew up with. So it's amazing to speak with him and hear his perspective.
Oh, thank you so much for bringing that. That's
Totally.
a great story.
Oh, yeah.
Always great to see you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks a lot.